Hello everyone, welcome back to Scott's TCG. It is Adam here and today I'm bringing you some Battle Spirit Saga content. That's right, Bandai's latest TCG, their fourth TCG now. Oh boy, they're adding up the numbers on those TCGs, aren't they? I have the Dragon Onslaught starter deck available to unbox for yourselves today. If you're not too familiar with Battle Spirits, neither am I. Go to their website, battlespiritssaga.com. It's a cool new card game coming out. Kind of like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not themed around like an anime or anything like that. It is based on the original Battle Spirits card game that has been long running in Japan for many years now. I was at the London launch event. If you saw me there, wonderful to see you. Great time. I had such a fun time. I ended up coming 96th with a yellow 2-drop Rush, which I will do a deck profile on at some point soon. I could have done better, but I wasn't, I didn't know the matchups very well. I played things poorly. But I still got top 128, which means I got that cash dollar prize, which is great. It helped reimburse some of the costs of the trip. And yeah, so I've got the Dragon Onslaught deck, I've got Call of the Curse, I've got the Ages of the Machine deck, etc. coming up on the channel. I do also have the Forbidden Magic starter deck, which I will unbox for you. That was the deck that I was using part of, so it's actually already opening in my deck, but I'll put it back together. But anyway, I've been talking long enough. You want some content. If you like Battle Spirit Saga, I'm going to hopefully cover more of it on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, all that goodness, and let's get cracking. So in the Dragon Onslaught starter deck, you can flip it over to see what you get. You get a deck, you get a play sheet, you get some cores. Right, so let's crack into the box then, shall we? And see what we get. So at the London launch event, it was white that won it all, white stall, which was, I fought against it quite a couple of times, and I was, oh boy, it was not fun, but that's the breaks. Let's get into this deck then, shall we? So to start off, so if you don't know how to play the game, here you get a playmat inside of the thing, the starter deck. This contains all of the rules that you need to know, how to play, what all of the various steps are in the game. And you get like a little playmat as well. It's made out of plastic. It's not, the most durable, but if you need to know what you're doing, this is great. The game is played with, once I can figure out how to get them out, the game is played with cores as its sort of primary resource mechanics. So it's these little blue gems, plastic gems, that you set into your life, you set into your reserve, you put onto your spirits, etc. If you are playing Battle Spirits and you're coming here for the unboxing, you already know that, but some folk might not. And you also get a little red soul core, which functions the exact same as a regular core, except if you put it onto certain things, you get extra benefits and stuff like that. So that can sit over here. Now, I am not a fan of these cores. I have big sausage fingers, so I keep dropping these. So in the booster sets of BS1, they actually give you cards to use as cores instead of the little gems. So this is what I used at the launch event. I much prefer the core cards, and yeah, just so much better. So let's crack into the Dragon deck. So there's Dragon Onslaught, there is Call of the Curse, Aegis of the Machine, and Forbidden Magic. They're all based on different things, and they all do different things, as you would expect. The red deck is primarily quite an aggressive deck. It wants to get a lot of guys set up. It wants to swing for big numbers, set up decent blockers. So let's see. So we get the X-Rare of the box. So in Battle Spirits, unlike Digimon, Pokemon, etc., it's not. So you get commons and uncommons and rares. That's always a given. But instead of, in Pokemon, they're called Ultra Rares, and Digimon and One Piece, they're called Super Rares, and Battle Spirit Saga, they are called X Rares. Alt Arts are called SPRs, and there are one per case cards called Saga Rares as well. So let us zoom in on the dragon. So you've got your boss monster of the deck, Nebula Dragon Andromeda. When you summon it, you kill a 3 cost or a 3 KAD battle power or less, or one of your opponent's nexuses. A nexus is like a stadium or a stage card. It is something that sits on the field for free and provides you with bonuses. And then while this spirit attacks, it confront, and confront is a keyword in battle spirits, which means if your opponent can block, they must block. So unlike in Digimon and One Piece, etc., every single card is a blocker, just like in Magic, etc. So you can block with anything that you have on the field. So if your opponent has something out and then you get out your Andromeda, when you attack, and of course, but when you attack, you have to rest the spirit. When you attack, you get the confront ability if you are level 3 or higher, which means they must block. Now you'll see the little code numbers down the left hand side here, 1, 3 and 5. That is how many cores you need to put onto this creature, this spirit, in order to keep it alive. So the minimum is 1 core, which gives it 4,000. If you put 3 cores on it, it becomes level 2 and gets a level 2 skill if it has one. And level 5, it gets a level 3 skill if it has one, which this spirit does. It gains confront, and this is your big guy of the deck. So of course you only get 2 Andromedas. We've then got we've got 1, 2, 3 copies of Galaxy Dragon Andrometeus. When you summon a Star Dragon, count each spirit on this symbol on this spirit as 2 symbols when calculating cost reduction. So these little symbols up here, so this costs 4 cores to play, but if I have 2 red sources on the field already, it becomes a 2 cost to play. So this is a little reduction symbol, which means you get to play things for cheaper the more things you have out, and that includes nexuses as well. You've got 3 types of cards. You've got spirits, which this is. You've got magics, which are like your event cards or your option cards or your spell cards. And you've got nexuses, which are like your stadium or your stage cards, things like that. So unlike in some Bandai games where you get 2 ofs and 4 ofs, this deck gives you 3 ofs, which is actually really cool. It means you only need to pick up an additional 1 if you want to get the deck up and running fully. So you've got Galaxy Dragon Andrometeus, you've got Imperial Dragon Seagworm. He's really important because there's a card in set 1, which is one of the Saga rares of the only Saga rare called Seagworm Nova. Basically, you tribute this on the field to summon the Nova version of it, and it is just a very oppressive card to deal with, especially for me playing 2-drop Rush. So you've got 3 copies of Imperial Dragon Seagworm. You have 3 copies of Rain Needle. Rain Needle is your 1 cost basic level 1 guy. He's a vanilla, so he's got some flavor text there. And you'll see this 1 reduction symbol, meaning if you've got 1 red source out on the field, you can play out Rain Needle for free, basically. And it's a super good, cheap card. There is no summoning sickness in this game, so once you get Rain Needle out, you can immediately attack with it if you want to, or you can leave it alive, leave it alone and block with it on your opponent's turn. So it's very good. We've got 3 copies of Quicksand Dragon. Again, just another 3-drop vanilla, but it costs 1 when you've got 2 on the field. We've got 3 copies of Moonbow Dragon. This is a 4-drop, but it costs 1 when you've got 3 on the field. And this has the flash effect Awaken. So in this game, we have flash stages. When you attack with your spirit, you proceed to your flash step, which lets your opponent cast flashes, basically. So some are on spirits, most are on magic cards, and it's like playing a trap card or a spell card. You get to do something in response to your opponent attacking. You then get to declare your blockers, if any, and if you do block, there is another flash step before things battle or you take life. So in the game, you start with 5 life, and when you are reduced to 0, that is when you lose. You've got 3 copies of Moonbow Dragon. You've got 3 copies of Blade Dino Parasaur. This is a very good card for 2. If you've got the reductions out, you gain Confront at level 1, which means your opponent must block. So if they're busy setting up some little guys to try and rush you, you can swing with this 2k dinosaur. They have to block you, and you can potentially get rid of the threat on the field. And it also has the additional effect of, if you put the soul core on it, if it's got the soul core on it when it is attacking, you can pay that core, which means put it into your trash, in order to draw a card. But that will put it back down a level if you don't have 4 or more cores on it at the time of paying the soul core. You've got 3 copies of Blazing Boar. Again, this is just this is your when summoned, get a red card back from your trash. It's not very good. You don't tend to play it. We've got 4 copies of Dragron Trooper. This is just a 2-drop for free. You get out and it gains 2k when it attacks. So it's a 3k free cost, which is pretty good. You get 3 copies of Dragno Shock Trooper, which again has the Flash Awaken effect. Awaken means that if you do battle, when you attack, you can then flash to take cores from your other spirits on the field and put it onto this guy. So you can buff him mid-battle before the battle happens, meaning you could potentially win the battle, which is quite good. 3 of these. You've got 3 copies of Dragron Captain. This is just another vanilla. It costs 1 if you've got 2 on the board already, and it's swinging for 3k. Just a lot of vanillas in these decks, as you would expect from the first set. So this is your Nexus. This is one of your Nexuses. You play it out for 4 or for 2 if you have 2 sources on the field already. And it gives you, you don't have to put cores on this for it to survive. So it's got a 0 effect, which is its level 1 effect of giving all your red spirits plus 1k. But if you do put cores onto it, you can gain additional effects. So this one is draw a card when you reduce your opponent's life. And we've got 3 of those. We've got 3 copies of Star Altar. This is for your dragon side of things. So when one of your spirits with a soul core on it is destroyed, select one of your spirits and place all of the destroyed spirits cores onto it. And then for 3 cores, when one of your star dragons is blocked, you can exhaust the Nexus to refresh that dragon. This is not a very good card. I didn't see it played the entire weekend, but it is part of the starter deck. We've got 4 copies, we have, 4 copies of Charge Draw. Very good card for 2 cost, basically. Draw 2 cards, and then if it's if you're affecting it during a flash step, you can buff your spirit by plus 2k. Very, very good. And again, just 2 drop for 2 cards is also very good. You've got 4 copies of Landmine, which is a burst card. Now, we've not talked about bursts yet. So a burst card, you can set face down on your field in the burst zone, which is over to the left next to the life, at any point during your turn. And then you'll see this little red text box here, burst when an opponent destroys your spirit. That means that when this condition is met, you can use your burst card at any point in time and gain the effects here. And then most burst cards will let you say you may pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect, and you get its flash effect as well if you want to pay for that cost. Not a very good card, but there are really important bursts. It is really important. It's essentially like trap cards light. You can only have 1 out at any one time, and if you want to put out another one, you need to replace it with, you need to discard the first one. But bursts are very good. There is a burst called Absolute Ice Shield, which is insanely powerful. It basically ends your opponent's attack phase if you pay the cost, but otherwise it protects your life for an extra hit. Very cool. We've got 4 copies of Landmine, and then 3 copies to round it off of Firewall, which is another burst. When you lose a life, you can select one of your spirits to gain plus 4k, and then spirits with 4k or fewer BP cannot attack during this turn. It was played a little bit, but not too much. Maybe run it as a 2 of. But that's it for the first Battle Spirit Saga deck. So we've got a healthy mix of bursts, magics. So this Charge Draw is a magic, Nexuses and spirits, and of course we get 2 X rares for the box. So again, if you want to run this starter deck at maximum consistency, you need to buy 2 of them to get 4 Andromedas. But you can run it without it, to be honest. 2 is fine. You'll just be, you know, against anyone else, you'll be struggling. And because the game is coming out with the Spirits main set at the same time, you'll need to upgrade it from there. But if you want to just play starter decks for a while, buy 2, and again, you can still buy 1 because the 2 ofs that normally come in Bandai decks are 3 ofs, which makes it a bit easier. But that's it for this video on the Dragon Onslaught deck. Let me know what you think, guys, if you enjoy it or not. Have you been to any launch events? Let me know. Let me know if you won, what your deck list was, any comments. I hope to cover a bit more Battle Spirits on the channel. I'm trying to go for a healthy balance and I don't burn myself out. But yeah, so we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. If I don't like it, I won't play it at the end of the day, so the content will stop. But we'll see from there. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, all that sort of YouTube stuff. It helps me out. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon for the next Call of the Curse opening. See you later, guys. Bye for now.